Hello everyone. So the most recent PTB changes. First things first. I won't comment on Billy because I simply don't play Billy enough. So I can't really say how the add-on changes will affect him. Maybe ask another killer player. Most other killer add-on changes are fine, not best, but okay. It's like yeah, it's good to have them, especially on pick, the additional 4% movement speed. But overall, it's not really worth mentioning it. Visual terror radius, nice. I probably won't use it myself because it's more distracting to me, but overall, it's nice. And if it helps more people to be able to enjoy the game, my guess, use it. No harm on that end, on my end. Okay, let's go to the things that are a little bit more into my area. Blood Web, of course, affects everybody. Branch buy is nice, works top, no issues there. Auto buy is a little bit weird because sometimes it can get stuck if the player progress and the entity progress want to buy the same thing. Then you can't click on an item manually anymore. You have to restart the auto buy on the auto buy button in the middle. And in addition, the auto buy is only possible from Prestige 1 onwards. So if you have a character that's not prestiged, yeah, you have to buy that stuff yourself. You still have the branch buy option, but it's like, yeah, I don't know why. But overall, good. I really, it's no deal breaker. It's all good. It was fine. Auto Haven. Good news for ranged killers, long carbals are gone, so you don't have these incredibly stupid line of sight blockers anymore, which is the best change on Auto Haven for sure. The new tiles are generally looking good. Some of them are a little bit tricky for ranged killers, but overall it's fine. It's mostly aligned to other maps now, and we also can handle that on other maps, so there shouldn't be a big deal here as well. The only thing that's a little bit sad is that some of the already existing tiles are a little bit higher now, so you can't shoot over them anymore. Again, not a big deal breaker. It was like this on other maps as well. It's just like you need to get used to it. Oh yeah, and there was one situation where I got stuck on Huntress between trees, where survivors could pass through. Overall, we reloaded the map 25 more times after this, because we tested different stuff anyways. And that never ever happened again, so it's quite rare. Maybe similar to some tiles on Macmillan Estate when they got new tiles. It's not too terrible, it's not too bad, but if it happens, you have to make sure that survivors don't troll you there. As range killers, you don't care usually because, well, obviously you just shoot through that stuff, so yeah. Wrath, now Spirit, you don't get burned anymore. We tested it on Wrath because it's the killer I played the most of these three. It's good to not be stunned and to not be uncloaked anymore if you get blinded when you're cloaked. Pretty buff, not too OP, still nice. Just a little bit of yeah, quality of life, I guess. Hack, new trap actions take about 5 seconds it seems. Should be fine. It will be a lot more ugly if you play range trigger add-ons, so if you have the trigger distance add-ons, it's not as easy to get rid of traps anymore, because if you put them in dark spots you still can't see them, obviously. It's not too bad because that was possible in the past as well, but now it's a little bit more spicy because you can't just go with the flashlight on and burn them away without even seeing them. So it's a small buff for hack, not too bad though, so should be fine. Okay, let's come to the first problem that is actually a problem. Medkits now take 24 seconds instead of 16. Brown medkits save 5 seconds to heal others. Purple medkit saves about 8 seconds or 8.5 seconds to heal others. All progress add-ons in terms of speed and progress amount got nerfed. I wonder why you have different medkits anymore nowadays. Just make them all yellow, I have no idea. If the change goes through, that seems a little bit too much. 24 seconds are like too much in my opinion. Especially if you play against killers that are, well, let's say interested in slowing down your heal or blocking heal completely, like Plague. I can imagine that this will be painful. But this itself wouldn't be too bad. It's more like the combination on Circle of Healing, because in combination with the medkit change, that's too much. I know Circle of Healing is currently like self-care plus botany knowledge in some way, but removing the self-heal and balancing the speed to others again is probably too much. And also seeing the auras of injured survivor in the area of the Circle of Healing is probably not enough compensation for all their losing effects. And even as a killer main, I have to say this is too much. It was meant to be a powerful tool for survivors to work against the killer. It can be taken away from the killer again, like hex totems are for killers. And it feels like a normal perk with the downside of the possibility to lose it. On the other hand, we have that on, I guess it's Chaos Theory that's giving you 2% haste or so, which is also kind of stupid. And also like some certain hex totems that we have, like crowd control. Crowd control is so weak, or weak in quotes. It shouldn't be a hex totem. It should be a normal perk, because we also have Bamboozle. Bamboozle is even more difficult to apply for you as a killer, and Bamboozle is no hex perk. It's, yeah. I don't like these changes for sure. Even as a killer main, that's they probably had a good intention behind it, but it's too much. Alright, gen kicks. Now it gets spicy. Thanks to Jeff and Dexter for the help, by the way. They were a huge help. That's the way to say it. They were a huge help. And so we tested Call of Brian, Overcharge, and Eruption on gens that were done for 50%-ish. We didn't take a ruler and measured it exactly, but it's like 50%-ish. So take these numbers with a little bit of salt. So Call of Brian took us 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go down to 0% again. Overcharge took us 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go down to 0% again, and Eruption took us 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go down to 0% again, if no survivor touched the gens. So, in real life it's probably more effective to play Eruption or Pop Goes the Weasel. Why Pop Goes the Weasel? Because both have the same value at 50%, 50% gens done. And they are better to apply than Call of Brian and Overcharge, because you have flat value when you kick the gen with them. 2.5% from the kick itself, plus the 20% of current progress on pop goes, and 10% when Eruption triggers. With the positive side on pop goes, if the gen is progressed further, you get more value out of it. And the positive side on Eruption, if you have kicked more gens, you can get more than 10%, but only 10% per gen out of it. So yeah, Call of Brian and Overcharge are probably dead now, which is kind of sad, because as you know, especially in Trickster, I like to change my gen regression perks a lot. Currently it's Pain Res, but I also played a lot of Eruption and Call of Brian in the past. Even in my Trickster guide, I recommended Call of Brian because it is on the 200% right now. It's really valuable. But yeah, after the changes, Eruption, Pop goes, maybe Overcharge, because Overcharge doesn't have cooldown. But yeah, overall, I would strongly recommend to use Eruption or Pop goes, at least from the current point of view. Pain Res, yeah, let's forget about that. Now we can't. Okay, so 4 stacks are simply not enough to get a decent value out of that perk during the game. For me, for example, it's now like a funny little mini game. Like, I take 1 token from Pain Res and put it on No Way Out, which is kind of funny. But after 4 hooks, I don't get any value anymore, and I completely lose a perk. So I have a suggestion to make Pain Res a little bit more interesting. After hooking every survivor once, get 4 additional tokens. And then repeat that. But only once. So you have 8 tokens in total. But only if you hook every survivor once. I know this is breaking if you have a disconnect, which is kind of sad, but that's not how the game is meant to play, even though we have a lot of selfish players right now. But with that 4 additional stacks, you maybe have some sort of anti-tunneling incentive, you know, and you at least get a little bit more value out of that perk. And at least value on second hooks as well, because scourge hooks already have the downside that they punish you if you are unlucky and they spawn all in one corner and there are no gens. I remember a Huntress game I had a while ago where all 4 scourge hooks spawned in one corner of Rotten Fields and there was not a single gen anywhere close. So I had to play the whole game without Pain Res and without Floods of Rage. I played both perks at the time because my scourge hooks were on the other side of the map. This was before Monster Shrine was reworked. I wouldn't have played it anyways, but still. It's like, yeah, if you're really unlucky, you suffer anyways already. And then if you are lucky to get that stuff, it limits you even more. I don't think this is going to be okay. So the Gen Kick perks, overall I can live with. Pain Res and the Medkit and Circle of Healing changes, not so much. But alright, that's it from me. If you want to fight me on any of my opinions, feel free to do so in the comments. Otherwise, see you around in the next few days, hopefully.